Hi there. So, I want to talk about our thoughts. And so, when I say our thoughts, I mean thoughts in general, thoughts that human beings have. Um, Sometimes when we have a particular thought, a thought is something that enters our mind. Um, each one of us has a filter. And so, we have a belief system, we have things that tell us, okay, this is something, maybe something that I'm not really believing, maybe, or it could be. So our filter will determine whether or not we hold on to that thought or whether we reject that thought. What happens sometimes is that thoughts enter into our minds, and that particular thought may feel uncomfortable. It may be a depressive thought. It may be a thought that feels uncomfortable for us to have. Just because we're thinking something, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So thoughts can be true. Thoughts, they're just like beliefs. Beliefs are beliefs. Some of our beliefs can be true. Some of our beliefs can be false. And just because you're thinking something doesn't necessarily mean that that thought that you're thinking is actually true. The Bible says, as a man or woman, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so what we choose to believe really determines, our course of action. And so I just want to talk about our thoughts today. And our thoughts, you know um, if we when we're vulnerable, when certain things happen to us in life, certain situations can kind of leave us kind of feeling like, at that point, if a sad thought comes in, if something sad has happened in our lives, a circumstance that has left us vulnerable, we can actually hold on to that sad thought, and you can hold on to that sad thought for like a lifetime, and that thought can shape your course of action, right? And so um, part of learning good mental health and part of learning how to navigate your way through, not just your belief system but your thoughts, is recognizing uh, the reason, or correcting certain thoughts. And so CBT can be helpful. Cognitive behavioral therapy can be helpful for somebody who's experiencing clinical depression or depression that's just hard to break. But I would encourage you, just on your own, like, if you're, everybody, you may not be aware of your thoughts, but um, what we're thinking in our minds largely determines, like I said, our course of action. And thoughts and emotions are very much connected. So what you're thinking usually sometimes translates into your emotional well-being, what you're feeling emotionally. So if I'm, let's say I love chocolate ice cream, and I have a a delicious bowl of chocolate ice cream, you might ask yourself, well, why do I feel happy? Like, I feel happy after I had the chocolate ice cream because your thought, your sensations and your thoughts, they're all interconnected. And so when something good happens to us, we don't question, why am I feeling happy right now, right? But when something tragic happens to us, we may not have the tools or the resources to actually, like, control our thoughts in that sense, where the thought kind of just overpowers us. And that's what depression is when we allow that initial negative reaction, negative thought to something that took place in our lives, and it kind of just snowballs, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we don't know how to shut that negative thought, that original thought. We don't know how to control that thought. So I just wanted to make this video to just give you encouragement, and to also to bring awareness to our thoughts as human beings, and how we don't have to accept everything that comes into our mind. Like, we have things that enter into our minds through our eyes, through our ears, right? What we hear, what we see. And there is a spiritual aspect to this too, where you can, in the real sense, allow the enemy, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call him. So you can, there's the negative, the dark side and the light side. And you don't want, if you're experiencing sadness or dark thoughts, just be aware that there is a God, and God is there to help you. If you need his help, you just call up, the Bible says to call upon the name of the Lord in Romans chapter 10. So but your thoughts too, you have control in a certain, to a certain degree, so long as, if you need medication to help you control your thoughts, or counseling or therapy. The point that I'm trying to say is that you don't have to believe everything that you're thinking, and that thought and that truth in that sense can give you victory if you really really believe that you don't have to believe everything that you're thinking, because everything that you're thinking may not be true. So it's not that, you're believing a lie continuously. You want your thoughts to line up with the truth, with your belief system. And so part of overcoming negative thinking or feelings of depression or feelings of sadness is to take your, as the Bible says, to take your thoughts captive and and find out what's true. Don't believe something just because you're thinking it. Right, that's what I'm trying to say. So anyways, I hope that gives you some encouragement. Thanks for listening. God bless. Bye.